The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply. Alright, so this is the Flogcast for round 3. Starburns joined by Ant.
Hello.
What, you fucking ready or what?
One on, two on.
Cooksen.
Hello.
Cooksen twice.
Dane.
Hi.
Penal.
Hi there.
Oh, fuck, Paddles isn't here.
The ants going over the top of everyone.
You're like the Billy
Haduken.
Birmingham of the Flogcast. You can just do everyone's voices.
Go Bombers!
Yeah, I couldn't do Hadukes.
And in case you missed him talking over everyone else's introductions, joining us from the mythical land of East Geelong, we have Teach.
I get far cunts.
Shut up, arsehole. I'm here.
Where the fuck is East Geelong?
Yeah, where is East Geelong?
Fucking Google Maps it, man.
No, but
It's there.
it's a serious question though, because isn't the CBD of Geelong right next to the bay?
Yeah, exactly. What is east of Geelong?
Well, east of the CBD, you fucking idiots.
So you live on the pier?
I
Oh,
don't
Frank's.
fucking live there anymore. I moved away.
He's
Yeah.
raised on a paddle steamer.
They have paddle steamers in
Hey,
Colorado.
but they'd have women of dubious virtue and casinos.
Were you raised under the table, Teach? You were like the paddle steamer version of the kids in the car park at the casino.
You fucking stupid cunts, finish. East Geelong is the upmarket place.
Is that
yeah.
where the cultural precinct is?
Some jellyfish there once, but they got it.
To be fair, I've heard people say South Broadmeadows is like the good part.
Or Seaford. Part of Franga there.
I'm gonna fucking knife you.
Well, Seaford's only one station away from
tell you
Knifey
what.
Station, Cannonook.
Cannonook Bar.
You better hope there's no CCTV around any of your homes because I'm gonna fucking come and
With a
fuck
shiv.
knife you cunts to death.
Well, I live on
You're gonna
the.
have to get off the boat and swim across the bay first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mate. Water is west from me, so you just keep heading east on your boat.
There's no trains out on the bay.
East Geelong is a very upmarket place, and that's where I grew up. And so you can all go and get fucked and stuff it up your ass.
Why aren't you still there then if it's such an upmarket place?
Because you can't get a job that pays you. Though.
because it's a shithole and it's only upmarket relative to the rest
Well,
of
you
Geelong.
can't get a job that pays you over 100k in Geelong. So
Yeah, you can. Drug dealer. Need to diversify, man.
Oh, come on. I'm sure the mayor, your favourite person, gets over 100k a year.
Yes, Darren Lyons.
I mean, you could have
Oh,
multicoloured fat abs, and you can be the.
that's it. I'm fucking out. Get fucked. Bye.
But we will move on from that. And with the worst segue of all time, we will go from the water to the Dockers. Ha.
It's a bad segue.
The Puffs have continued their dominance over Geelong. They love going down.
Did they kick over 100 points?
They did, so we're going
Yes.
to talk about them. This
Oh.
might be a year's worth of talking about them because they may not break 100 points against anyone else but Carlton.
We'll
Let's
just
not
talk
talk
about.
about Freo and talk about Fife. Because he's,
Yeah.
Well, he's brown.
He
He's
is
gonna win the brown
Freo,
line.
basically.
Yeah, pretty
Mm.
much.
he's like Montempelli, yet not as good.
Pretty much. He's like a slightly older Bontempelli, but they're pretty much identical players. He'll win the
Except
brown
Monty
line.
can kick better. Well, either or, as long as Pridis doesn't win again.
Yeah, no, it won't be pretty.
You sure? He's been pretty good.
He's a Brownlow medalist. Shit.
Really, he was pretty bad in the Dogs game. And that thread on the West Coast board was great too.
Yeah, but didn't he get named like in the coaches' votes that game that all the West Coast supporters started melting down over that?
Yeah, well, we'll come back to Pridis because we want to talk more about Geelong and like
Concerning youth.
desperate times down at Geelong. Reece Stanley got a game.
One of their best
I would
players.
say- what I would say about the game is that I was immensely impressed by Fife. He was just out of his skin. He was the best player on the ground by far, and I expected us to lose. Not by that much, but, Fremantle have got that band of players somewhere between the 25 and the 30-year age, and they're locked down, forced the ball forward, play. It was just Geelong has never been able to handle it, and they smashed us. They were really, really good at just the contested ball and moving it forward in like that ruck maul. So, well, I thought
Did
they'd
you
win.
shout malt up a drink?
I'm glad he didn't play. Stupid little cunt.
It could be any worse than Billy fucking Smets.
And we will get on Snipey Smiths.
The other question I have, Teach, how did the Great Potato Hope go?
Who are you talking about?
Ray Stanley.
He actually played all right.
So you're in the plugger camp, are you?
Teach, is Geelong done?
I think
Are we over? Geelong
Okay.
is done this year?
And now I have to ask Cookie, how is Hugh Goddard tracking?
He's apparently been best on field in some of our VFL games. He's building up nicely to a 10-year centre-half back.
Well, and really, if you're on the bottom ladder team, he'd probably be playing right now in the seniors, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, probably would.
Oh, well, and Junior,
Well, Lonergan's cooked,
Sucking
so they
each
really
other's
need a
cocks.
new defender.
Well, just on that, Geelong, yeah, they're on the bottom, and we've been hearing forever from the Geelong supporters about how they've never finished below 12th. This might be the year.
Go Cats!
This will be
Concerning
the year.
times.
They won't make the 8 for another 5 years, I reckon.
Paddy Dangerfield's going to turn around halfway to
Just
Geelong and
go
he's
and
going to
get
go, no,
fucked,
fuck it, I'll go back
you
to
know.
Adelaide.
He's not going to go to Melbourne, fuck.
No, Paddy Dangerfield will wind up at Essendon because Essendon gets one big name every year without fail.
Who'd you get last
Who did
year?
you get last
James
year?
Gwilt, man.
Cooney,
James Gwilt all the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, which
Adam Cooney,
big name is he
Brownlow
going to go with?
medalist.
Cooney,
He was-
Wilt,
he
or
was- he was a-
Giles?
then
He
Chapman
was-
the year before that, then Goddard the year before that. That's three.
So basically, you've picked up a couple of overdone
Every
hacks
year we
and an
get
angry
one
Pills
big
man.
name. You know how Mick was whinging, no one wants to come to Carlton. They want to go to Essendon. So we'll get
come
one
back to
one
Mick
big
as well.
name.
But back to Billy Smith sniping.
We won't get Billy Smith.
How'd he only get 1 week?
Because it's a punishment to play him, not just out of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, they've actually gone and punished Geelong by putting Billy Smets in. Only 1 week. They punished him, but they also punished Geelong, and I think that's fair.
Are you done with kicking us in the head and you can move on?
What about your, the great youth, what's his name, Cockatoo Collins or something?
Nokia.
Oh, Nokia, the Finnish bloke. How did he go?
Shit, move on.
Yeah, well, do we have anything else on that game?
Five's a fucking gun.
Yeah, you
Five.
can over Ablett. Yeah.
Fife, if he keeps up that kind of form from the first 2 weeks, he will be the Brownlow medalist. He is absolutely unbelievably good.
Also needs to manage to not get suspended, which will be a big question mark.
See, the
'Cause
other
he's
thing
got a bit of a temper.
to counter for is Ross Lyon has a way of destroying football teams.
But Fremantle do look imposing, and I can see him taking another team to a grand final loss. This could be the 4th one for Ross. And that's just, there's no shame in it.
I,
Pluggers told
I
us.
would absolutely piss myself laughing if he did that. I would like to see the Fremantle guys win a premiership because they are.
What is wrong with you?
If Ross Lyon,
No!
He's from fucking East Geelong. He's born on a boat.
Gee, come on. I don't ever want to see Fremantle in a grand final again.
if Ross Lyon loses another flag, will he resign in disgrace and become coach of the New Zealand cricket team?
That
Become
would be
coach of
great.
Carlton.
That would be great. I don't want to see anything go to Ross Lyon, but I like Fife, I like Barlow and Havlich.
Pavlich is the only reason I would want that club to have any success. Other than that, I want nothing from Fremantle. They're a low-scoring defensive side. They put on boring spectacles.
But they scored 100 points.
Yeah, it's a once-off. Anyone can win the lottery, Starburns.
Actually,
Really, to be
well.
fair to all this conversation, I'm already bored of it. Can we move on?
Yes, I was about to say,
Yeah.
let's move on. We've had our 5 minutes of Freo or whatever. We'll move on.
5
and we'll go
minutes too long.
we'll go to the biggest game of the weekend, and it was,
Bulldogs
Hawthorn.
Richmond.
No, Hawthorn running out of legs against
Oh.
Essendon. How
Oh,
Ain't
yeah!
Oh,
Next-
but
next, move on.
one
Penal.
more second, and you would have won the game.
how concerning that Hawthorn got overrun by the team that didn't
How
do
many
a
players
pre-season.
did they have withdraw suddenly at the last minute when they announced there was expanded drug testing? Huh? Gibson, Mitchell, Shields. Heaps of them. Suddenly
Oh,
drop.
well,
Oh,
you
I
can't-
can't
you-
play.
you-
I'm
You
sore.
can't count Shields because he got subbed off last week, but the Gibson one maybe has some weight to it,
General.
given his choice of
Hey,
social
Yes.
companions.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sharon.
he's got a shaved head, funny enough.
What's Teach singing?
And you know,
Oh,
they had some bad luck too. Because his face the
Singing, I can't even hear it.
Me too.
This is like a retarded version of whatever he's.
He sounds like he's fucking a doorknob.
It's like he's getting cut off like Soul Glow again. We can hear snatches of words, but
I
really.
was doing it for Haduken's sake.
But yeah, sorry, Haduken, you was.
Oh, no, I was just saying they had a bit of bad luck. James and only give the
Shut up, asshole.
Each get back under the gambling table.
Haduken, it's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, the floor is yours, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all yours because I don't want to talk
I
about this
see.
fucking game.
Hang on, I can solve this. There's one easy way to fix this up. What we can do is something along lines like this.
He's cueing the music.
Oh,
pressure-
well, you know.
Pressure's
you know,
on, man.
Yeah, pressure's on, you know.
And this
a
awkward
well-oiled
silence is going to
machine,
make
yeah.
it into the cut, so we can listen to Haduken trying to figure out how
I
to
think
use
this
this.
pretty much sums it up.
They'll try their best.
Feel free to sing over it. Tim.
As the bombers fly up.
When you were doing
I
it
was
earlier,
doing
it
a
was better.
back fella for you there, and you fucked it up.
So, Penal, did you go to the game?
No, I didn't. I don't live in Melbourne, as you have no doubt forgotten.
Ah. Did you watch the game?
I watched it, yes, and I sort
Do
of
you know who did
got
go?
a bit melty.
Bugger all Hawthorn supporters. That's who
Now,
went.
the other question, mate. Up until the last 20 seconds, do you think you had that game won?
I will admit, when Rioli kicked a goal just before half-time to get it back to like 25 points or whatever it was, I was like, yeah, we've got this in the bag. And I thought that right until Cale Hooker kicked that goal, admittedly.
That was actually when Riola kicked that one right before halftime. I actually thought exactly the same thing. I
So
thought,
did I.
here we go. This is the start of the comeback.
But the thing
And-
is, Hawthorn had their chances. They were lazy in that last quarter. They fucked around the ball.
They did.
Yes.
They played.
Rioli played a selfish, like he was handballing to nobody, and then suddenly fluked a goal. They could have played a lot better and put Essendon
What
to
was
sleep.
it? 24 inside 50s to 7 in the last quarter in favour of us, and I think we only outscored them by a goal.
It's
So
what happens when
that's
you have a
deplorable
superior
efficiency.
defence. When you've
No,
got
it's what happens when you're
Australian
arrogant.
Cale Hooker and Michael Hurley in career best.
But the thing is,
dominating your centre
Hurley was good, but it was more Hawthorn just fucked around the ball.
Yep.
Hawthorn
Well,
were arrogant.
tried to be
is what
fancy.
They were playing Hollywood
Hey,
football.
What exactly are we waiting for?
We gave up waiting. We're just talking about the game.
No, we should
You know
have
what's
we should have
funny?
went with the Rocky Balboa trying to sing the Essendon theme song earlier.
Great day. Great day for Essendon. Great day for James
the bombers fly, Adrian!
Very,
We did it. We did it. We won.
it was a very dark day for Australian sport. Shows you
Oh,
that
fuck off.
cheaters do
Go
win.
Bombers. Fuck a fat one, Hawthorn.
Was it Boss saying that they're going to get Hawthorn justice?
Oh,
well,
yeah, that was.
We know what that is. That's
Boss.
injunction justice that's tolerant of drug use.
I know, it's
So-
basically like
Right.
Asada. I mean, what did it get?
Oh, that was Thrawn.
All talk and nothing happened.
She's had a big whine cry. Oh, yes, everyone is still going to get. Jesus Christ. Thrawn, next week, we play Carlton. We're going to butt fuck you, okay? You're going to cry the entire game, and I'm going to laugh.
They'll try their best, but they
fucking hell,
can't
he's
compete
back.
as the bombers fly up.
Do we have any more on that game? Because
No, good game, good ending. It's a shame that Essendon had to win.
How good is Cale Hooker? Seriously.
That was a good
Oh,
kick.
yes. Great.
He is a very good player,
Um,
and I will admit that even though Mackenzie will miss the entire season with a knee injury, you'll still get the blow-ins on the main board Eagles supporters who will say Mackenzie should be All-Australian this year instead of Hooker.
You won't. Not the way
You
Hooker's
will.
playing.
Oh,
You will, because the
Dominate.
Eagles supporters
the
are
Eagles,
just that
yeah.
fucking
Deluded.
dumb when it comes to
this is
Mackenzie
the Brutus
versus
knick-knack thing
anyone.
again. Let's just leave it alone. We will move on to, well, in probably a game that was actually decent to watch, though wasn't all that close, was the Colas turning out the lights on the pufferfish.
Ooh, didn't they just kick me?
0 and 2.
Is it really the case? Like, was Port last year just right place, right time, do you reckon? Did it all just happen to click and come together? Or are they actually completely overrated?
Well, everyone is saying Adelaide are the new Port, and I'm sitting here thinking Port are the new Adelaide of sort of 2012 to 2013, just going massively downhill. So that's where I see their trajectory at the moment.
Sydney were really good. Sydney were back to their best.
Buddy was brilliant. I mean, Heaney just looks like a fucking jet, and it's quite funny though. I mean, Port spent how much to get Ryder, and he's not the missing link.
That's racist.
Yeah.
How about the INXS intro, which was, well, apparently they were still singing when they were on the ground. They were still on the ground when the game
they got
started.
booted off. The INXS guys got booted off.
It's a freaking terrible song to use for that kind of thing.
I'm going
It's
to
a
say this
ballad.
to Port. You're not fucking Liverpool. You're not a fucking soccer club. Stop acting like one. You're fucking morons. Just get on the fucking game.
This is what happens when you're a franchise that's 17 years old and you got no history, and
try
less
to rush
fans than the rivals across town, and a bunch of fickle supporters that'll probably go missing.
Better whip
and
out
bring
those
the day
tarps.
covers. Those tarps, never tear up those tarps, or never tear up tarps.
They're not really going to be happy now as regards to never tear the tarps up because they're zipping too.
And they could be zipping 5 looking at the draw they've got to come as well.
They got absolutely pantsed by
Well,
Sydney.
history
and
says if you
Sydney,
go 0-3, you don't make the final.
Yeah, North can boot them then, can't they?
They can, and they will.
Ooh.
And then there's Hawthorn, and then the showdown. Like, if it weren't for the showdown in round 5, we could have those Azugak Photoshop, those pufferfish bay covers. That'd be fantastic.
Yes.
I will say this. I have heard Koshi's new marketing strategy now that Port are a bit shit. They're bringing in the Sunrise cash cow.
I don't even know what that is.
What's that about?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Fucking Sunrise have this cow that gives money, and I fucking saw it at a
Is
Port
it like
game once.
the old pluck a duck from...
Yeah.
I don't know. I
something?
have a job, so I've never watched Sunrise.
They could probably get John Butcher to dress up as the cow because he couldn't be any worse at that than being a fucking football player.
There's the old Penal just starting to come out of the shell, yeah.
Oh, I've just
Here he
noticed.
comes,
I thought you were going to say
My,
come out of
but
the egg.
Before
How many goals did Butcher kick
Yeah,
on the
the
weekend?
fucking eggs going in,
Hey,
man.
he
I
didn't
don't think he
play,
played.
they dropped
I
him.
didn't play. Oh, I was
I
just
just
wondering.
have to remark that I've noticed it's starting to get a little hot in my room here. That's because I can feel the meltdowns all the way over here coming from Adelaide over Starburns' 17-year-old franchise company.
Another thing that we will note from that, Sydney were very impressive, and I think it's because the team balance was right, and a lot of that comes from the defensive forward pressure that came from Goods being the sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fucking
Is it actually-
accounting ledger is balanced because of their salary cap cheating.
Is it not actually illegal to make the Australian of the Year this up? Just checking. Yeah.
Well, you know,
Seems
as
disrespectful.
Is he just about finished? He's gone on for too
I
long.
think
He's
so.
a
He's
favourite.
gone.
I reckon
He's
he's gone.
cooked.
Yeah, I reckon he's gone.
He
on
was
for-
like that against Essendon. He was terrible. He was
Yeah, they subbed him off because he was so shit, and that's when Sydney started to play well. The team balancing is a real issue for them.
Oh, he's gone into politics now, hasn't he? He's basically one eye on talking bullshit.
He'll be the next Tony
What do you-
Abbott.
What do you mean one eye? There are 2 eyes on talking bullshit. So he's straight into politics as soon as he...
Anyway, we'll move on from that game to the next one, which was on Friday night, and everyone saw it, and it was, you know, Carlton are bad, but
Well,
we got
Carlton
the
started well, and all the Richmond supporters are going, see, we're not so bad. Carlton having a crack at it. We'll thrash those fucking Bulldogs.
we got the evidence that Carlton are going to be a bottom 2 side because Kennedy skied all over them, and
Oh, they were terrible.
I
They were
watched
terrible.
Mick's
Kennedy
press
was
conference,
good,
hoping he'd lose his shit, but he looked like a broken man.
no one wanted to come to Carlton, and he was
It's-
a bit
it's-
upset by that.
Well, it's taken him a while, but I think he now has come to the realization that he has a really shit side.
Come on, the
He's
Bulldogs.
just depressed. Not even Mark
He's
Stevens
been
could
sold
make him
magic
melt.
beans.
They're
He-
Carlton. They're never convinced they have a shit side. Just
well,
give it.
that's why
I-
it's going to be funny for
I
a
must
lot
admit,
longer.
I went onto Talking Carlton, the website, just for a bit of a giggle the other day, and they were legitimately saying, like, for the Essendon game, oh, you know, it's okay. We've got, what's the dickhead with the horrible mustache, Armfield, coming back, so we'll be all right.
What's with that mustache?
And it's like,
Do you
David
think Mick will
Armfield?
coach Carlton next year?
No.
Not
No.
a chance.
I don't think Mick will coach Carlton by round 5.
Oh no, they'll go out his contract basically.
Do you reckon
get
they'll
his
cut
record.
him the week before he's due to break the coaching
No, they,
record?
they,
Gotta
can
get
afford, they can afford
No,
to
they
sack him early.
can't because I think the record breaker actually might pull a few people out to
Nah,
the ground, and
screw
they need the attendance boost.
Cut him early.
Oh, and maybe Mark Stevens can ask him just as he gets cut.
How does it feel to get so close?
So far.
Penal's boyfriend, British played all right.
Well, if you ask the West Coast board, he didn't.
Oh, really?
He never
No.
plays all right, according to them. I don't get it. But is Prentice
Yeah,
the
he's
only
good.
Brownlow medalist hated by his own club supporters, or what?
Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it?
It is. But as good as Kennedy was kicking the 10 goals and skiing all over him, Casboult was the exact opposite. How were some of the ones he...
Who's the worst kick of the footy, him or Butcher?
Oh, Casboult.
Oh,
Oh, good
Casboult's got to be the
question.
worst kick of the football ever.
Casboult, yeah.
That ball drop is just terrible.
He makes Pritis look like
An elite
fucking
user,
silky
yeah.
smooth. And this is why it's funny that no one wants to come to Carlton, because that's
Come
what
on,
they've got.
they have the Footscray thirds.
Well, yeah,
They got
Liam Jones.
Liam Jones, Tut, and they had Everett in the team. I mean, come on.
I've got mates who are who barrack for Carlton, and they've butchered the Clash song, Rock the Casbah. Drop the Casboult. Drop the Casboult.
He can't kick for shit.
Drop the Casboult. Drop the Casboult. Yeah, they hate him.
they're just a
Yeah,
terrible
but if you
football
drop
club.
him, who do you bring in?
Well,
Yeah,
you
you
don't
got
get a
no
game
one-
just because your name's
Yeah.
Levi Casboult. Mick's told us that. And-
Matthew Watson, maybe?
They'd have to put Henderson down forward.
well, they
They
did.
got-
He was down
yeah,
there with
he
him.
was already down there. Put
Is
Watson
Matthew
in the back
Watson the-
line and Henderson forward.
The
I
amazing
guess.
part is they missed Jared Waite.
Is Matthew Watson the dumb
There was a
cunt who
thread.
was too stupid to try and punch the ball through for a certain
Yes,
Carlton win in
that
the
was
draw
him.
last year?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
There was a thread on the Bay about ex-Carlton players that had kicked more goals in round
Yeah, there were
Two,
quite
yeah.
a few. Yeah,
Carlton.
Than Carlton has this year.
yeah Waite was one. Betts,
Scarlett,
Scarlett,
Betts,
Kennedy,
Robinson,
Kennedy.
Robertson, yeah.
It's-
Combined,
Jacobs
kicked
kick a
more
goal?
goals.
Did
Sammy
Grigg kick a
Jacobs.
goal? Fuck.
Griggs kicked a few.
This is the thing. They've got no one to kick their goals, but they've shipped a whole bunch of players off elsewhere, and they hang on to Armfield.
Who's going to save them against us next week when he comes back?
Barbecues are not cutting it anymore.
Liam Jones has kicked a couple on Essendon before. There you go. He might go alright.
Hey.
Yeah, they
You-
might only lose by 12 goals.
Because he plays one decent game a year, maybe against Essendon.
Anyway, I think we can move on from Carlton, unless we want to discuss why would anyone want to go to Carlton.
Brown paper bags.
Money.
A job with
money,
business.
money,
Free
money,
sausages.
money.
Oh,
Comes the
Guaranteed.
money.
22
Yeah.
I
games.
want to help the environment, not really. Give me the money.
All right, let's move on to the next game, and Ant, here you go.
Yeah, go Dogs. So you went, Fifey?
Oh,
Fifey,
yeah, I went.
Fifey went to the game.
Shock
What happened?
horror.
Hey, so what did you say to Ling Jong?
Yeah, what did you say? No, it's Kim Jong, isn't it?
See, that's racist.
You've been racist there, Mikey. What's going on?
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't me. Obviously,
Yeah, you
after
don't
she was
have to be
blocked on
racist.
Twitter by Norf, Sooz is turncoated to Richmond, and she attended the game, which is just insane, but we do know she is not fond of Asians.
No, but the news reports specified an extremely short man, although I guess that does include Sooz as well.
See, and then she, halfway through the game, she then turncoated to the Bulldogs and had a crack at Rance.
That's terrible.
What happened to her diversity forum? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Homophobic and racist. Back to the game, though. How good is Bontempelli?
Yeah, he was literally a class above every single other
Now,
player
if
on the ground.
Stringer could actually kick the ball straight, he would have finished with about 4 or 5 goals. But I just like the way we ran with the ball. It wasn't that boring McCartney, get the ball, don't know what to do with it style. We
Yeah,
actually
that's what
ran
we
with the
were
ball.
playing.
We took chances. Yeah, they made mistakes, but it was good to see. It was.
I'm going to make a call now. Marcus Bontempelli is the best player I've seen since James Hurd.
Oh, he's
Fucking
an
hell.
absolute genius.
Seriously.
I have to say though, he is the first Bulldogs player since a 17-year-old kid in 1990 I saw kick a bag in the first round. That was Chris Grant. He's the first Bulldog I've gone, wow, this kid is just something.
He is unbelievable. And the fucking Tigers, Jesus.
You're frustrated, man. It's literally what Ant said about the Dogs. We played the boring McCartney-style football with
It
no
did,
risk,
it
and
did.
no, it was
But
just...
the thing is, you didn't even play that because he actually Bulldogs played that contested possession. We still did that. We still out-tackled you. We
smashed you in contested possession.
Did you?
Yeah, we smashed
did,
the
yep.
Bulldogs in every single stat except the scoreboard.
Really?
Even the free kicks, as you.
Oh,
mentioned.
yeah, 30-13. That
moral
last quarter.
victory.
It's like, how much did they pay? Ben Cockchin went down every 2 seconds. Free kick.
Yeah, he's the new
just because
Selwood.
Beveridge has tried to implement the unsociable football at the Dogs, and some of your players just aren't quite there yet with the polished tackles. That's not our fault.
And like the Lin Jong mark when they went, oh, that's not a mark. He doesn't wear yellow and black. That was a racist call by the umpire, not giving him that mark in the last quarter.
Were it not for Rance, that game would have been a lot greater margin.
Rance was bloody good. He
was immense, even with the shit he copped over the fence.
Every time the ball went out the back door, he was just in it.
Incidentally,
Yeah,
where are
that's a
Richmond on the
pretty
ladder?
good
I think everyone knows.
Can anyone guess?
They've
They
gravitated
are in a
to their
traditional
natural
spot.
position in the
Yeah, like the ladder's all out of whack except for one thing.
Again.
You don't sounding like a retarded Sylvester though.
We're ninth.
We finished ninth again.
Yellow and black.
Fuck off, Rocky.
2 rounds, you fucking idiots. Don't worry. about
It's still funny though, no matter what round it is.
Hang on, Teach, why are you so melty about Richmond being ninth in 2 rounds in?
it. I'm
'Cause
not.
it's exactly double 18.
But why go? Oh, it's only the second round. What relevance is it to you?
He's pulled an anus cat. He's supporting all the other teams.
No, it's because he's hopeful for Geelong. We'll move on because it is only 2 rounds and we do have a couple of interestingly undefeated teams. The first one's GWS, who, 14 goals. It was old Melbourne and new Melbourne all in the
Do
one
they go
game.
home after half time?
They've got 5 goals out and conceded
But
14
it's
straight.
not like
They were
GWS
fucking
have played.
smashing him.
GWS have played a couple of weak teams, so to be fair.
Well,
Yes,
yeah, I
but
mean, I thought
It's the way that game went.
Then
That
again,
is-
the Bulldogs have played a couple of weak teams, to be
Oh,
fair too.
fuck off.
I mean, at halftime, you were thinking, gee, Melbourne could win this by 10 goals, and then the third quarter
Yeah.
happened, and you were just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck was that?
Dylan Shield happened. He's
Exactly.
so fucking good.
Yeah, true. That kid's good.
But that was Carlton-esque from Melbourne.
He's a Melbourne. That's
it,
from Melbourne.
it was crazy.
Nah, Melbourne are better than Carlton now.
Yeah, they are. Melbourne will still be Melbourne. They can't just give it up overnight. It's like a drug habit. Yeah.
No, I thought you said last week that Melbourne would be magically good because they got rid of Frawley.
They're crossing over, Melbourne and Carlton. At the moment, Melbourne are improving from being Melbourne
Just
to
merge them.
being something a little bit
They-
better.
they-
and
they're kind
possibly
of heading up
competitive,
into
whereas
St
Carlton are
Kilda
coming back
territory.
down to becoming Melbourne, and that's going to be fun.
Somewhere in the middle is Richmond.
Fuck off. Do we have anything else on Melbourne GWS?
Not really.
I was going to go. I didn't. I'm glad I didn't because it turned out to be a pretty ordinary game. I saw it.
Crows smacked Collingwood pretty convincingly. They took the
Ooh,
foot
didn't they?
in the last quarter. The only thing I really took out of this game was Phil Walsh got a little bit South Australian melty with the media afterwards and going, no one cares unless you win in Melbourne, which I thought was quite amusing, that insular West Horsham mentality.
What
To be honest, I didn't watch the game, and we should move on just to rub it in their faces.
Collingwood
Saying the,
that's about it.
What did he say?
That's the best joke. He was like, no one takes you seriously as a contender unless you win in Melbourne because that's where all the media are.
takes me seriously. I'm
So even though they only beat Collingwood, apparently this makes them more legit than them smacking North in Adelaide. West
Couldn't give a
Horsham
fuck.
logic.
They beat Collingwood, who
West Horsham, East Geelong, it's all minor places. Come on.
There'll be some sort of weird shit fight thread over it where Port players are trying to make some point about it that we
Yeah,
won't
I guess
understand or care about.
You're right, Dukes, you're right. Yeah, so fuck
But I
off.
think Ant's right, and we won't discuss it any further, except that the Crows are looking kind of impressive.
Yep.
If I watched them, I would agree.
Unlike, as Haduken pointed out, the concerning Suns, who might just be on the brink of implosion, losing
Jesus,
to
they are a shadow of the side they
St
were
Kilda.
last year.
So
Could be.
is Eid the new Malcolm Blight?
I think sacking their old coach was the worst thing they could ever possibly have done.
No, I don't
It's
think sacking. I don't think
completely
sacking him.
fucked them.
Maybe if they'd got in a decent coach in return, because from what I heard of McKenna, he was a bit of a prick to the players.
Ead's
I know-
a weird one, though. Like, he's been at, 3 or 4 different clubs. He's never really quite gotten anyone there. He got Sydney close. He got the Dogs close, but he never got anyone all the way. But everyone holds him up as
he
his
got the Dogs
great
as close
coach.
as you can get with that club, which
Well,
is
Yeah,
to
he
be
got as
commended.
far as he could with both of those
Prelims, yeah.
lists, and that's why they thought he could do something great with a talented one, but clearly he can't manage the culture.
Yep.
Did you see any of the game though? They were lazy. They didn't
Maybe,
chase.
maybe Gary Ablett has brought a toxic culture from Geelong to Gold Coast.
Oh, fuck off, Hodge boy.
And,
Off.
He'll go to Essendon next.
I mean, they played that badly that Plug is now melting on them on Bay 13, going, "I told you shouldn't have wrote us off. We're gonna win the flag still. Fuck you all."
But Josh Bruce kicked 6 goals. That's an
Fucking
interesting discovery.
brilliant
That kid can
performance.
play. That kid can play.
He's just yet another one, and this is something that's gone a little bit missed, is that
Kent
GWS
Bruce has gone
stockpiles
mad.
so many youngsters that they actually, this was apparent last year with Miles and Homsch, that they actually, the ones they'd listed were still very, very good, and Bruce is just adding to that list. Like, it makes you wonder about what the Giants will be when they're throwing players like Bruce away for
Well, also
nothing.
interesting you say that though.
I mean-
A couple
Boyd.
of players they're getting rid of have come out really undeveloped. We picked up Darley, like basically for nothing from them. Unfit. Boyd was overweight and unfit. O'Rourke.
Wait, you've got a Hawkins?
What?
Boyd's Hawkins?
He was 110 kilos when he came to the Dogs, and first thing they did was make him lose weight off the GWS cheeseburgers and on the running track.
Off the
and lose-
falafels.
Yeah, the halal
on the-
cheeseburgers.
And O'Rourke, I mean, he's underdeveloped as a footballer.
He was shit.
I hear he's
Hey.
at exactly the right club.
Yeah, but
He's
he's also
according to Hodgepodge, he was the greatest debut of all time.
Oh, he
What-
was fucking terrible.
It really
all
was.
time.
I mean, according to me, he was one of the reasons they lost that game in the end when he had that smothered kick. It was pathetic.
Yeah,
Let's
it
do
wasn't
that.
that moment, but he did not have a good game at all.
Give
Sinclair.
Cookie a go. He's team.
What do you think, Matrox?
Fucking grew here. Sinclair was a jet.
Shut up,
Savage
Antler.
was
Let Cookie
fucking
talk.
brilliant.
Yeah, shut up. Give Cookie a go.
Yeah, get fucked, Ant. But yeah, it's just pretty good win. Concerning that we ran out of gas.
Couple of
Like,
goths on a bus.
fucking dropped down. But we're not winning the spoon. You all can go get fucked.
Yeah, well, we know that. I picked Carlton for the spoon anyway. I think a lot
Yeah.
of us did, but
You're going to be the moral spoon, though. I'll give you that.
this actually is pretty funny since, like, I think it was David King and Dermot Bird in the media thought
Oh, that's
Sinclair
right.
wouldn't win a
Fuck up.
game.
You
David
go.
King, you're a fucking dumb cunt. Eat a
Yeah,
bag
we knew
of
that when he
dicks.
tipped
Till round
Sydney
two.
to win the grand
David
final
King
by
is
80
the worst
points.
expert in the media. He
Well,
never gets
And
anything.
we let him be assistant coach.
Well, a few of them said the Doggies were going to finish on the bottom of the ladder as well.
None of them said you wouldn't win a game, and that's just absurd in any language.
And
Everyone
Leo
knows
Cookie
Geelong will
keeps
finish
going.
on the bottom
you're
of
on
the
the
ladder,
fog
so...
line.
That being said, Carlton might not win a game.
I don't
And
think they
if
will.
we're done on that game, we'll move on to a guy Carlton would love to have because he seems to
Yes.
have realised his potential.
Yes.
So, what do? He stabbed 7 people?
Good
He's
on
not
him.
soggy.
He kicked 7 goals, which apparently he's never kicked more than 5 in his entire career at Carlton.
Potential fulfilled.
Those goals, were they a bit of downhill skiing, like, cheapies at the back, or did
Not,
he actually
not
go
really,
well?
but it was
No.
against a pretty average team.
No, well, he kicked him on a note.
The Bryans are
Barrett wasn't down
concerning.
there. Maguire
No,
wasn't
I mean, that scoreline, I'm guessing Higgins must have had a field day. That would have been downhill skiing 101.
He had a very good day as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Waite was inspired, and I think Norf actually really made it happen. He's come from Carlton, where they love sausages, and
Yes.
they made him feel at home by putting up
All
the sausage
hail
banner.
the giant blue sausage. I don't know what it is.
Dan, I
Come on
told you,
board.
Dan, it was a good move, and it was going to turn out well, and it has.
It's
No, no,
nice
no,
to
We're
see
talking about the
North
banner,
no, no,
the
no,
It's a good
spend
sausage
some big
banner
money.
curtain.
Teach. The wagon is dead. All aboard the blue sausage.
On your blue sausage, who is this Kanye Turner people keep talking up?
It's
I got a
Kane
picture-
Turner, not Kanye.
Oh shit, he's a bit angry with that.
I've got no idea who he is. I googled him tonight, and I came back with an image of Sooz. And then, just to be fair, I expanded the search.
There's a
And
lot
I
of
came
people-
back with Boomer, this dorky-looking skinny kid, and a Steve Urkel-looking girl. So one of those 4 people is him.
Kanye. Do you like fish sticks?
An oldie but a goodie.
Do we have anything else on North versus Brisbane? Brisbane is shit, and I think North got...
It was a gimme result. It was
Well, at least you beat a shit team for once, because that was your problem last year.
Yeah.
So how did
The old
oops,
North would
injury
lose
drop.
that one,
I was going to ask how Rockcliffe went. Sorry.
We'll move on to the talking points, and we will begin with Hawthorn. And, well, Hawthorn have decided to, as Kardinia Park so expertly noticed, engage the 48%. And, well, what do we think of this shiny, shiny jumper?
Gay.
Shit.
Well, I like it.
Oh, we would.
You would.
You like fucking everything that you're popping.
Get the goo jar, because he's got to throw something in for that.
No bronies
Yeah, I
in
mean,
it.
if Hawthorn came out with My Little Pony plush dolls, then
Oh my god.
would go down.
No. No. Oh, Jesus.
You would have the full
I was going to
set,
say, to
wouldn't
be
ya?
fair, he would be having that brony cum jar.
Oh.
He Could have the full fucking set on his windowsill.
Oh my
Good.
god.
Fucking hell.
Maybe during the fucking week where we had to do the photo shoots for the new jumper and shit like that, the reflective surface just blinded all of our players, and that's why they played so shit and couldn't kick to each other.
Yeah, that's it.
I think, that's my excuse that I'm running with.
I look forward to this being a massive seller with Hawthorn.
What's it meant to represent? Is it like meant to represent...
Homosexuality and boss.
Boss. Apart from that.
And just to sum it up, the funniest part about that entire thread was when the most supportive person of the new jumper was Shep.
Oh, fucking hell.
Have you seen that tweet of? I think it
That
was from,
says it all, really.
I think it was from Triple M Footy where they just picture of Bruce and it shows him in the new jumper and then the caption is, "I wish I could go back to the Crows."
Gunston.
Shep is the kind of supporter, though, that, like, Cyril Rioli could wheel out a pram with babies in it and set fire to it in the middle of the SCG and burn these babies alive. He'd be like, oh, yeah, that's fair, Hawthorn, we're the greatest team ever. That's fine. Cyril's just burning babies. Don't worry about that.
Those babies deserve
That
it.
sounds like
They
a
probably
Bad
support
Monday
Pulp.
idea.
I'd endorse it if the babies were Essendon supporters. I would.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that a good note to move on from the shiny jumpers?
Yes.
I think so.
We will stick on Hawthorn and Geelong briefly. Which one do we want to go with? Do we want to go with the sledging from Hawthorn, or do we want to go with Hawthorn dobbing Motlop in and him getting suspended?
So what was the Motlop one?
Well, Motlop was drinking at Colac, and Luke Hodges' brother was also there and dobbed him in, and they sledged him about it. Geelong players didn't know.
Oh, that's just spitefulness because he didn't get drafted. What a little shit.
That is very snitchy, especially when having to go at Selwood over the whole lake thing.
Oh, well, I don't see the problem with it. I mean, they used it to sledge off on the field to him. And
He was probably down there sinking cans, and every time he scored one, he twirled his fucking finger.
Yeah. Useless fucking. So, yeah, I don't see the problem with it. I mean, they used it to wind him up during the game.
But he got dropped for it.
If you're stupid enough to drink on fucking football in a football season in fucking Warrnambool, then you deserve what you get. Fucking
I agree.
retard.
Yep, I agree. He got exactly what he deserved.
So what do we think of the Clark sledging then?
You can't sledge him on depression. I mean, that's just fucking low.
That's low.
You can give him shit about homesickness, ditching Melbourne, blah, 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 but depression, I mean...
And I wonder if Damien Barrett hasn't gone full Eddie Maguire on this after Eddie blew his top at the St Kilda fan for the borderline racism quotation marks when it turned out the St Kilda fan just kind of said
Because
Cracker
they
had
still
been in
don't have
jail.
any official proof of what was said or who said it and when.
Yeah, there's been no evidence that he said anything about depression. It might have
Yeah,
been he just
given-
sledged him about Melbourne.
What didn't Clark
Given
come out?
Clark's, he tweeted saying, Lake did nothing wrong, and so it sort of sounds like this is Selwood having a sook, as he normally does on the football field, and it turns out, off the football field.
I can kind of see, because I know Brian is not the smartest bloke in the world, and he is prone to doing dumb things and saying dumb things.
Really?
Yes.
Look,
Thanks, Ben.
It might have happened. If it did, then they need to take him down. They need to fetch him down
And say, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's another storm in a teacup, really.
It's a grey area.
Clark probably just told Selwood, just said, there was a bit of sledging, but Selwood probably either overreacted or the coaches overreacted. Because Clark didn't give a shit.
It just doesn't seem to be anything in it. So it's just a media beat up. So I wouldn't worry about it at all.
So get fucked, Damien Barrett.
Pretty much.
He's a nuffy Norfie.
You know who Kanye Turner is.
Anyway, let's move on to, Essendon got cliquey and didn't invite Bomber Thompson to the premiership reunion.
They did not.
And then Tim Watson tried to
This
be
is
all...
a weird story.
Oh, but
Oh, no.
you could tell Tim Watson knew more than he was letting on when they interviewed him. He's like, be angry at the club, but don't be angry at the players. And Bomber's like, well, you invite me next time, you can't.
I don't know. Like he initially said, no, I haven't been invited. Then there was some weird half retraction where Robbo came out and said, no, he has been invited. And the club said, he has been.
Robbo came
He
out
just
on
doesn't
set.
want to go. And Robbo reckoned he misunderstood the question initially.
Nah, that's bullshit. Robbo got a call from James and said, no, he's been invited. Robbo goes, oh, he's definitely been invited then.
Yeah, they rang him up, they
Yes.
texted him, said, oh yeah, you
A
can
little
come
bit
if you want.
This year, or even the end of last year. He's been a bit all over the shop. So I don't know what's going on there. There's more to this story. I just don't know what it is.
There was a falling out. They
Yeah.
fell out somewhere. I
But
reckon.
who, where, and how, I have no idea. Why.
Well, it's pretty big falling out
Yeah.
when something that has absolutely nothing to do with what has gone on.
Everyone
actually
will blame
interferes with it.
James Heard, so who cares? You know, it's
Because the people who were going to be there weren't involved in the saga.
Yeah.
Actually, no. This one's probably got more to do with Little, doesn't it? Heard might have asked for it, but Little obviously would have had the
it
say.
could be little, but I mean, you know, Mark Harvey went, so what's
But
the
he's
deal?
a current coach.
But why wouldn't you invite Bomber Thompson?
Well, because I guess how the split happened.
Yeah.
And also, Bomber really doesn't like Little.
Possibly. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any info on what's going on there.
Oh, come on. What about your source on Bomber Blitz?
Claims he doesn't know.
Has anyone heard what Fog Dog thinks of this?
Pretty much everyone.
Well, I just basically said that in code.
My guy's not Fog Dog.
Oh, he's the red sash, sorry.
No, isn't it
really-
Cerberus? Haduken's
Oh,
guy is
God, no.
Cerberus.
Martin
So-
Hardy.
There are some spanners out there, I know, but yeah.
No, come on. It's Mr. Aaron.
Mr. Aaron, yeah.
Mr. Aaron's got all the goals because he was looking through the window when the meeting happened. But yeah, it's interesting. Clearly the Messiah complex at Essendon doesn't extend beyond Herd. Last of the talking points I think we'll go with is the Bryans looking to sell games. Do we want to talk about that? Brisbane are that hard up, they're looking to sell games in fucking Singapore.
In Singapore.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's racist.
Yeah.
Lin Jong just
So toy.
Don't they have laws against littering in
Chewing gum and they'll cut your head off.
Singapore?
yeah.
So how do you reckon they'd feel about the AFL dumping their trash there?
Yeah, they won't like it.
Can you imagine if Collingwood played away there? What would happen?
What
Joffa
about
in
Hawthorn?
Singapore?
That's a good
In
point.
Junction?
Oh yeah,
Which supporters
homosexuality.
spitting on the ground.
Spitting on the
Yeah,
ground.
48%
Throwing
of the
chicken on the
Hawthorn
ground,
supporters
Hawfie.
don't come back.
No, what about spitting on the ground? Like Carlton wouldn't be able to
They
go
c-
there. They're full of floor
Port
Well, they can't send Geelong up there. Tom Hawkins
Actually,
wouldn't be
well,
able to
no
throw his
spitting,
fire
no,
wrappers
Richmond.
away.
If Richmond lose in Brisbane and all you guys start spitting, look out.
We ain't going because we're fucking playing in Thailand. Fuck you guys. That's the perfect place for St Kilda.
That's St Kilda, yeah.
You're going to go see LDJ, are you?
I reckon they'd have a
Yes, you can have Essendon versus St Kilda.
Thank God.
LDJ can do the fist pump.
They can be the Ladyboy Cup or something.
I reckon they'd have a much better return
David
if they
Hill to toss the
actually
coin.
Yeah, you got the
to
Malathon.
Hong Kong rather than Singapore because, all you need to do is get, 0.5% of the Chinese population and you've got 60,000 people who are watching. Whereas Singapore, you don't get that kind of numbers. So I'd go to Hong Kong rather than Singapore, but why
Why not go to an even more densely populated place? The numbers, man. The numbers.
Go to East Geelong. Play games in East Geelong. You can gamble whatever you want.
Teach, you do realise that like 0.5% of 1.3 billion is actually 6.5 million? How are they going to fit that many people into a fucking stadium?
He meant Hong Kong, not China, mainland, I think.
They don't all have TVs.
What do you mean they don't all have TV?
Yeah, because you go to the footy and you watch the TV.
If I was going anywhere, I'd go to Hong Kong. Not,
Teach, is the reason why you want Hong Kong is because there's a lot of illegal betting in Hong Kong?
no.
You sure?
This is going in a bad direction. Time to pull out an old classic. Fifey, are you going to go to that game in Hong Kong?
Well, no, because unlike Brisbane, we don't need to sell games anymore.
Teach wants a different online casino that's on the ocean in the Bay of Hong Kong. You could be like the man with the golden gun, the old Bond villain. You sit there going, yep, this is my sampan, bitches, come on.
Teach will move to East Macau.
Anyway, if we've got nothing on that, actually, there was one more thing, and it was the drug policy, and it's come up that Koshi's offered in all the port officials to get tested.
Oh, really?
Yep, and this is going to sweep the AFL. All clubs get. So, can you just wait until Essendon, James Heard's outed for 3
Well, I
strikes
was
and
going to say, it's
boner
nice to know that
injections?
one club's already completely in the clear because they've been completely investigated, so we know where all the rest of you guys are dodgy, suspicious.
Yeah.
No one's tested James. He'll have to cut those golden locks. But yeah, there's also the other ones. Like maybe that's why Bomber Thompson's not getting back into coaching.
There's an
Cocaine
odd rumour
rumours or
or two floating around there, yeah.
Rumour or
Drug
two.
usage.
Bloody hell. I didn't have to get on Bomber Blitz to know that one.
Nothing else on the drug policy. The expansions obviously have been previously mentioned as getting Josh Gibson.
Well, it isn't. We had. Was that? Oh, you guys would have talked about it last week with the injunction. Drug.
How long's Libber
Blah, blah.
out injured? He'll be all right.
Yeah, but he did.
Oh.
He did an ACL, not a freaking sore butt, Lance Franklin.
Yeah, but that should be enough time for everything to get out of his system.
Yeah, what was it? The butt hurt injury. That was great.
Dane B Beams, cough, Dane Beams.
Anything else on the drugs policy? Or?
Who cares if officials are doing drugs? I don't give a shit.
Well, I think it's a fairness thing that the officials can do whatever they want, have as many erections as they want, and, with impunity.
Let's give
maybe-
Mothhouse some coke. Let's see what the fucking press conferences will be like.
That's weird. You sound like me, and you're thinking like me. I was going at the Mick on drugs angle as well. I was thinking more Mick on ice. Got scratching his skin in the interview, then punching out Mark Stevens.
Well, the
As a
odds are slow,
cocaine
but the
pick
earth is full of
myself, this
ants
can only
around
be
my
good for the
skin,
game.
ants on my skin.
Yeah, one game at a time. Scratch.
Clarko's probably already on ice. How else do you explain the punching walls and punching an interchange bench?
He strikes me more of a PCP kind of guy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hulking up, kind of,
Scott Brothers are obviously on something that give you some serious come downs as
Yeah,
well.
if you got Sooz as your cousin, you'd be on it.
No, you need to test the fucking
steroids or
Scott
something.
Brothers for a drug that makes you fucking pull hilariously stupid faces.
Yeah. But I got one pork
Whatever
talking
has
point,
that
though.
one as a side effect.
Oh no, the Scott Brothers and Valium, wouldn't they?
But shut up. I have one talking point. Something very interesting about Essendon. They had $700,000 in donations last year.
Oh, I did read about that.
Barely made a profit without it.
They would have made $2,000 without it, wouldn't they?
Something
20
like
grand.
that.
And your conclusion is, Cookie?
They earned less than Essendon earned less than a fucking pensioner.
They passed around the collection plate like any religion.
Oh, for
They're now the
shame.
tin rattlers.
The Church of James
Right.
has
The cult of
requested
James.
money.
Yeah.
Essendon are now tin rattlers.
And that's it. Oh, well, fucking great. That's...
I'm giving you facts, man. Fuck.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to
Just
this
teach.
week on the Bay. Did we have a thread of the week? It was once again pretty lackluster. I would maybe say the pufferfish turning the lights out.
Yeah, that was good.
There's that one. There's the fortified
melted.
handshake one. Was pretty
Oh,
good.
Ugak's one, yes,
Ugak.
of course.
The
Was
boss
that Ugak's
Ralph-
first ever almost backfire thread? Like, everyone turned on him, really.
Yeah,
But yeah, everyone was really disappointed. Then I think Bender's post summed it up. Oh, Gary Ablett Jr. only picked up 20 disposals and kicked 2 goals. Delist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't his best work, I mean,
It was because it was so hard to understand what the guy was saying.
when
Well, yeah,
you...
it wasn't his
Hawkins
best,
saying.
but it was still funny because it was ripping on Hawkins, who is a fat cunt, let's face it. So I liked it. I found it funny, but I think
Shut up, you cocksucker.
Nah, good Fred.
Oh.
Pro steer if your team is above
Hey,
Geelong
come on.
on the ladder.
I enjoyed bumping the original shit thread this week. That was,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
quite enjoyable.
Which one did I bump? He Who Laughs Last. Oh, that's always funny whenever
Oh,
Richmond
the,
lose.
That fucking thing.
the people who can kick better than Levi Casboult was pretty funny.
Anyway, what thread do we want?
Just give it a Ugak.
Give it a
Yeah,
go.
Ugak.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
Hugo,
okay.
3 votes.
Yeah, go on.
And flog of the week. What do we reckon for this? Bosk's been melty.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have to be Bay, does it?
Can I nominate Thrawn? Jesus,
You
it's
can.
been going
Yes.
off. Like, whiny,
Yeah.
petulant little bitch.
I have to nominate Geelong Crazy 26, who just fucking turns up this week out of nowhere and
Do
posts
you know-
some new shit threads and
But do you know-
dumps his old ones. with
You know,
shit
Geelong
posting.
Crazy 26 gets Hawthorn supporters every fucking time. He is Hawthorn crack. He's basically, he's like hodgepodge Geelong. These guys cannot stop fucking.
Yeah, they're
Why
both
would-
fucking terrible. They're both vlogs, so
And they
Who
both
was
get
that?
under your skin.
He was that flog who posted some religious horse shit.
Yeah,
blue,
but
blue and gold
wanker.
eagle.
No,
Yeah.
well, apparently he's the spamming flog that annoys the West Coast board or some shit, which is really annoying because I know he's a massive religious person. Because during Good Friday discussions, he was mashing the button, going, "They're offending my religion."
Jesus. Is he a big fan of the invisible...
Big on Jesus.
He's
Big
big
on
on
Jesus.
Jesus.
Big on Jesus.
He got permabanned, so I didn't get the chance to say praise to his thread. Hallelujah.
Am Stuff's back and being Am Stuff.
But yeah, who do we want to give it to?
Can we give it to Chunky Chicken in the Roby thread?
Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
It's not
okay,
even
yeah.
on the
Yep.
bay, though.
Oh, it doesn't have to be on the Bay, does
He's
it?
melting over the Roby thread. He wants it moved because
The Roby
Damn.
thread is basically a bay thread. It's just
It
on,
is.
on the Mayborn.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
the-
why it's awesome.
How do people get sucked into the power wankings? I mean, serious. I mean, we know he's full of it. We know he's pulling it. I
He
mean,
was ahead of time picking Adelaide for top 4.
Well, it's because like so many people are in on that joke. They give it legitimacy. They talk like it's real. So some poor newbie comes on and goes, "What the fuck?"
But you have to be
Very-
fucking stupid not to see it's ridiculous from just reading the first post.
Yeah, but people don't, so
Yeah.
it's awesome.
As I said, you can listen. Teachers' tips are better than fucking Roby's power rankings.
Well, let's not go too far.
Come on, it's good.
I think Roby got more than
Come on,
two.
no. To be fair, is this Teach Monday or Teach Friday?
Teach Friday's worse than Teach Monday. So far, yeah. Anyway, so
I can
yeah, do we want to
see
give it a
your
chunky
bricks.
chicken or anyone else or Boss
Yep.
or Thrawn or
Yeah,
we
chunky
just got okay,
chicken.
chunky chickens fly the way. Quickly,
Yep.
last week's poll: Ruckman of the round, 11.4% said Will Minson,
Big Will.
4.5% said Big Dawson Simpson, 6.8% said Shane Mumford, 9.1% said both Nick Naitanui and Todd Goldstein, but the winner with 59.1%. Who cares? Jack Watt's nearly 20 and 3'd.
Hey,
Poll was
just
poll
on
was rigged. Didn't have Segler.
I was gonna say,
He doesn't win hitouts, man.
Oh,
So he's not. He can't be Ruckman of the
He
round.
won like 40 hitouts yesterday. He was like
Come
one
on.
of our only good players.
Well, he
I'm just
didn't do
about
it
to
last
say,
week,
though,
did he? So he can be
it
Ruckman of the
didn't-
round this
It
week.
didn't have Reece Stanley. That's a fucking flaw.
He wasn't playing because
No,
he's a
I know
good player.
I know what Struggler looks like now. I saw him on the TV on the weekend. That's Struggler. And then he fumbled something and I went, yeah, he's struggling. He was
let's move on.
fucking slow as treacle, man. Why do you talk that guy up?
Yeah, shut
He
the
was-
fuck up.
He
He
was
was
shit,
good.
man.
Like
Bell
him and
Chambers
Lake.
him over.
Him and Lake were our only good players on the day.
Let's move on to next week's games, and we'll start with Friday night, Collingwood versus St Kilda at the MCG, and I'm thinking St Kilda might win this, actually,
Oh, it's a
based
good
on last
game.
week.
I think Collingwood will kick their butt.
I think
St
you're
Kilda-
wrong,
I
brother.
reckon St Kilda will win. They'll beat Collingwood. Collingwood are bad right now.
But
Nathan Buckley's come up with an article saying
Collingwood.
pretty much is up. Buckley's already come out and conceded defeat. He's saying, "Oh, their pressure's too strong. Yeah. So we're gonna fucking smash these twats."
okay, Teach.
I agree with Cooksen. Impervious logic said Kilda will win.
Yeah, I reckon the Saints might get up here.
See? Collingwood going to win. Teach picked St Kilda.
They can't play on the MCG, guys. This is St Kilda.
But Collingwood can't seem to play anyway.
Except the Gabba, I guess.
Yeah, the Gabba. Yeah.
Sorry, Ant.
Brisbane are horrible. The next game, really, does anyone give Carlton a show? Anyone?
No. Not
Put your hand up if you do, but otherwise we'll just move on.
This is going to be legendary.
There's
Oh,
no
this is
fucking cameras. How can you tell?
To be fair, though, I wouldn't mind seeing a Carlton win just to see.
That would be hilarious as well. I'm actually
It would be,
I
but
laugh
it is
so hard.
not going to
The
happen.
only time you're going to have all the fans of the competition, except for Carlton, in unison wanting Essendon to win this week. Haduken.
No, I want Carlton. to
Yeah, I
win.
want Carlton to
wants
win.
Carlton
What?
to win, yeah.
You're
Oh,
kidding.
Essendon to win.
Carlton are harmless, man. They're
Carlton is so bad, them beating Essendon right now would just
Oh,
the
what is
Kool-Aid
wrong with
chuggers
you
would have
guys?
no
You
idea
want
what was
Carlton to
happening.
We're going to beat them
Yeah.
like a red-headed trailer park.
We get to see
stepchild.
We get to see Mick Malthouse melt down to extreme levels. I want to see that. So Essendon, I want them to smash.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I agree
predict-
with Fifey
I
on this
predict
one. I
at
think
least
Mark
4 or
Stevens will be
5.
press conference
Mark
this-
Murphy handballs over the shoulder as he tries to get away from Hibbard throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, but Murphy's a chicken shit.
Everyone expects Essendon to win. There's no humour in the melt here.
the troll factor would be 10 times greater if
Yes,
Carlton actually
the troll
pulls this
factor
off.
of Carlton
agree.
beating Essendon would be
Who
gigantic.
the hell is going to kick a goal for Carlton?
Liam Jones. He's their star.
Yeah,
No, they'll bring in Watson. Didn't he kick 4 against you last year in the drawn game?
Matthew Watson. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Some no-name scrub will come in and we'll kill them.
Dennis-
It'll be fine.
I want to
Dennis
see
Arfield to 20 and 3.
I want to see like the ball fall in the middle of the oval and fall.
I want to see a Carlton
Hempel,
supporter in
Murphy,
tears at the ground.
Gibbs and Stanton. Who will go for the hard ball?
We're all on Essendon to win, but we're split on which result would be best. Adelaide versus Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval. Does anyone rate Melbourne as a show?
Rose will win.
I don't
Tex Wilson
care.
kicked 10.
Melbourne beat them there last year, but I think Adelaide will beat them this time.
I seriously don't care.
Adelaide.
Adelaide will fucking smash them.
Pros by plenty.
Sydney versus the Giants. Sydney are impressive, but the
Don't
Giants
care.
have one too.
Sydney.
This game will be closer than you might think. I've
Yeah, I
got a
agree.
funny feeling about this round. There's one
care.
really major upset in this round,
Don't
but I
care.
can't pick which one it is.
Yeah, it's
don't
down
care.
in Tasmania, man. We
Giants
played
will win.
we played the two heads.
Okay.
Well, I don't discount the Bulldogs being that team.
I'm on the Kohlers, but I could see the Giants winning this. Yeah.
I'm going for Giants.
Sydney by heaps.
Yeah,
So
I'm
Giants to win
expecting
that,
the
Teach?
Colas to win it,
I
but
reckon GWS are going to show Ryan Griffin's heart and lose out.
Don't let
Ooh,
Griffin-
Awkward silence there.
You gotta let Griffin go. You gotta let
Wipe
him go.
away those bitter tears.
Hey, did
Yeah,
you
I didn't even
Teach,
order a
teach.
coffee, and yet I can taste all this bitterness.
Teach, who sings that song?
in excess.
Let's keep it that way, all right?
I want to hear Rocky Balboa sing it.
No, you really don't.
No, we don't.
North versus Port at Etihad.
North.
North of Mania to keep running wild.
Yeah, North to turn out lights on the pufferfish.
I reckon North
Yeah.
will be borrowing the tarps.
Pufferfish to be the best 0-3
Yep.
team.
The only reliable thing you can go with North is that they bully sides at the Docklands. Anywhere else, they're ordinary.
North to shrink the pufferfish to smaller than Nicky Dale's junk.
I
Yeah, I
reckon
think so.
North will get up.
North.
I'm going to go the pufferfish.
Get on to Hindenburg, my man.
Lions Richmond, I think we win just because Brisbane are that bad. But
I reckon Brisbane going to win.
Put the Gabba. Yeah, are you going, Fifey?
it's in fucking Brisbane, mate.
You
Yeah,
can still go.
So,
Excuses.
After last week, I'm not travelling further than
we have
the
these
fucking
things called
CG.
planes. You may have heard of them.
Well, our mode of transport is train or boat on here. That's what we're sponsored
Yeah,
by.
I mean it's not that far away. It's not like you have to go to
if you
East
get
Geelong.
teams to start paddling now, you can get there in time.
yeah. Rewald's got his Mikey ticket. He knows where to go.
It's only a couple of thousand kilometres east of Geelong, isn't it? Yeah.
I reckon Brisbane will have an upset here. I don't rate Richmond.
Well, Richmond and Queensland, they don't have a good track record.
Actually,
Yeah.
Brisbane beaten us once in the last decade, and we play them mostly up there.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Richmond.
Tigers.
Yeah, you've convinced me. I'll go with the Tigers.
All right, yeah, I'll go with Richmond.
Tigers.
Yeah, you
Hawthorn-
convinced me too. Brisbane are going to win.
Hawthorn Dogs, this has been tipped as the upset, so how many are going for it?
Can we
Dane
upset
is-
Mike's going to fall? The Dogs are going to get
I
it.
think Hawthorn will come out and won't play the lazy football this week after last week. Clarko will give them a strong
See,
bake.
the biggest reason I wanted Hawthorn to win was because I didn't want them to be angry for next week.
Yeah, I think they'll turn up and put on a big performance in their spiritual home.
Yeah, we seem to keep playing them down in that shithole. But I mean, I'd rather play at Shithole Stadium and then Shithole Island. I mean, fucking hell.
So you'd rather play in East Geelong than East Geelong.
Yeah, southeast. I mean, how do you feel about playing home games in Tassie, you West Australian Hawk supporter?
I don't mind. It's good for the club. It's good for the supporters down there.
It's the
Helps our
heartland,
bottom
it's the
line.
Hawthorn heartland.
It's Highland.
It makes fucking Anus Cat melty about it, so it's a win-win-win.
Oh, we're going to have a rant about how awful we are for turning you against Anus Cat for that one.
Well, you've got to go with the Hawks on this one. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, my split personality is going to be disappointed. Hawks will win.
Yeah, we'll win.
I'm
but
slapping myself and it
very
hurts you. It
close
hurts
game.
you.
Oh.
Speaking of shitholes, Geelong versus Gold Coast at the shithole.
Gary Ablett Cup.
Yeah.
I'm going to go...
Both concerning. Like, who's worse at the moment?
I'm
Fuck.
going to go Gold Coast.
I'm going to
because-
go Gold Coast too.
Yes, less concerning Gold Coast.
Gold Coast will win on talent because both have the motivation.
Yeah, I'm going to go Gold Coast, but purely because Eid is a better coach.
Yep,
Gold
Gold
Coast
Coast.
does have non-concerning youth, even though they've been a bit concerning. They're not quite as
You
concerning.
finished? You finished, fuckers? You finished?
So long to get
mostly.
flushed into the bay.
I think we've lost Tish.
I think-
Let's move on to
Yeah, next
West
game,
Coast.
West Coast
You're on
Fremantle.
waiting, you cunt.
I mean, right now, I'm sure I'll be hearing Tish going, you can't, fucking, I'm ready to go.
We can't hear him. They've lost reception out in East Geelong.
Gold Coast will win.
Oh, wow. That's a massive concession.
Keeping that iron grip on the number one draft pick, are we, Teach? And see what comes your way
we're
next
fucked.
year.
We're fucked.
Stephen Wells will probably trade it for fucking Ty Vickery or something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can trade Liam Jones back for a reasonably high pick, so then we can on-trade him to Geelong.
Of Reece Stanley worth 21 and pick one. Geez, that'd be...
Clint Jones will rip him back.
Yeah. Clint Jones.
It's Reece. To be fair, if Reece Stanley's worth 21, you'd say someone like
Zach
If
Dawson?
you're careful, you could
Oh,
maybe...
come on,
trade someone like...
a better player
Next
than that.
game, you fucking dickheads.
Like maybe like Morris from Richmond or something like that.
I was thinking like Daniel Gian Syracuse. I know he's retired, but they won't know that, so just go to that.
Hey, yeah, how about a goal kicker? Don't worry about that grey
Exactly.
hair.
He's a forward, they need a forward.
He'll put some boot polish in his hair and go, yeah, I'm a young kid.
Take Sam Reid. He's young. He's potential, and they love their athletes that can't play. Clearly, based on Stanley.
Hurry up, you spastics. I need to go to bed.
Last game, West Coast Freo, the Derby.
I want to
West
see
Coast.
punches.
Freo.
Freo.
How
Come on.
I mean, we've
West
said
Coast aren't bad, but Freo are good.
Yeah, Freo are
Yeah.
imposing. They should win.
Great. I mean,
I'm going to go the Fifey Dockers because I don't care about the rest of the team.
Yeah,
I would make
go easy.
Freo
Freo-
will win pretty easily.
Freo to score over 150 points.
No, won't happen.
Have they ever done that?
What? 150?
Yes.
You mean as in total for the season?
Not for this game. I'm that confident.
Oh.
I'm betting nothing on it.
Yeah, well, because he's learning from Teach. We said this last week. He's gravitated straight to the Teach philosophy of say whatever the fuck you want on a Monday because it doesn't matter come Thursday, Friday.
I'll put my tips in right now.
He's blowing
Okay.
his fucking tits off with that.
You've got to have faith.
Is that everyone tipping?
Yep.
I think so.
So,
All right. So yeah, this was the Flogcast for round 2. Starburns joined by Cooksen,
I'm
See ya.
banned.
bye.
Oh, shut up, dickhead. Let him say good night.
Dane,
See ya.
Penal.
That actually
Hi
did
there.
sound like me. My God.
I know.
See you next week.
Ant,
Hello.
See ya. Bye. Ta-da.
and
See you later.
Teach.
Go
Get
doggies.
fucked, cunts. Yeah, get fucked.
Good
I
night.
didn't want to say goodbye anyway.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about.
Aw.
Oh yeah, go Bomber Blitz.
Bombers.
I'm my Hardy.
Come on, Rocky. You can take him.
You did it! I did it!
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next
The
week.
Italian Carlton Stallion is going to get butt fucked this weekend.
Chase the chick.
Use lube. Going to dry.
Good night.